Triumph Motorcycles has taken a shot across the bow at those that don't believe that their motocross project is real. Welcome back to more breaking news on Vital MX. I'm your host, Michael Lindsay, and as always, these features are brought to you by our friends at Yoshimura R&D of America. Check them out at yoshimura-rd.com. Yes, Triumph Motorcycles has rolled out some teasers. Today is the beginning of a video series they are launching to explain the direction of their motocross project, the design features, and kind of break down each aspect of the bike itself. Now, starting off with the frame or the chassis, the kind of initial part of the bike you have to develop, they already have gone a unique direction. It is different than anything we currently have on the market. So they have gone with aluminum frame, yes, but in a single backbone style layout, similar to what we see with the Austrian bikes. But the last time we really saw this in aluminum fashion on a motocross bike really kind of takes us back to the Yamaha 450 from like 05 to 09-ish era. Really, Yamaha had done that single back style aluminum frame kind of based off the steel frames, while Honda, Kawasaki, Suzuki Airbales had gone for a Delta box style frame, which they were making on their street bikes at that time. One unique aspect with this frame that is modernized from those dates, though, is the engine mounting points. Back then, we used to, again, go off the two-stroke theory where the engine was typically mounted into the spine of the frame, directly behind the cylinder head quite tightly. This one, it looks to have engine mounting that is still on the spar of the frames as it starts to drop down the foot peg, because eventually that single back frame does split into two spars before going to the foot peg region, kind of back by the shock tower. Another unique thing looking at this frame, of course, is them showing off the way they've been able to design it, with being aluminum, being able to machine out sections, change out sections. They kind of show that off a little bit in this video, talking about that design process, trying to hit what is their perfect combination of stability, front-end traction, rider comfort, etc. All the things that, all of us riders are looking for, and every brand is trying to perfect or find their combination of. Another unique thing with the frame is what we would call a windowed shock tower. This is something we've seen KTM doing in the MXGP series with their factory team frames that aren't available to the public. For comfort reasons, they've been adding this windowed area into the shock tower. This bike already seems to have it. So again, the machined out sections are pretty cool to look at. They have some prototype frames in this video. They have a full final finished version that they show off both at the beginning and end. Yes, sadly, that's really all we see. There is a little bit of a teaser of the engine sitting in the chassis, but we don't actually get to see a complete bike in this video. However, as I said, they're going to be rolling out these announcements now. We believe within the next week or two, we'll probably see the engine next. Then it would be followed up by suspension and hard parts, finally the styling, and we'll get a full look at this motorcycle. Throughout the video, they also feature mostly their U.S. staff, which we understand is going to be kind of the face of the project. You have Ricky Carmichael, Steve Westfall, you have Bobby Hewitt, Dave Arnold, Ivan Tedesco. Some of the main people here on the U.S. side, they're also very involved with the bike development and racing development of this project. Again, the goal is to race this thing in 2024. And some of the other things we kind of already know about the bike is, yes, it will be a dual overhead cam 254-stroke engine in this first bike that they will be unveiling. From what we've heard, the engine is somewhat loosely based off the outgoing KTM engines. When we say that, based on the born stroke and maybe some of the design features, the way the transmission and crank are stacked in it, things like that, they took a basic inspiration. But like all OEMs, they've likely taken every engine apart from each OEM. They've measured the valve movements, the compression ratio, all their bore and stroke. They've tested all that to come up with their combination, the one that they feel like is going to work best in their bike. A couple other things we do know about the bike is it will be on KYB suspension from really everything we've heard, and there has seemed to have been no denial on that so far. So we expect to see KYB front and rear, both on the production side of this bike and the racing side. We did hear, a few people point because of their street background, maybe it would be Öhlins, but we do not believe that that will be the case at all with this motorcycle. So again, we're getting really close to the end of the year, to the point this bike will have to be fully debuted, but it does sound like we will definitely get these announcements a lot sooner and quicker now. So we'd like to get your thoughts on it. What do you think of Triumph's rollout so far? What do you think of the little bit they've shown of the bike? And also, what is your opinion on what it's going to take for them to actually win over consumers? Is it a bike that is more premium than what's out there, even if that comes with a higher price tag? Do they need to go into the cost-effective side? Do they just need to produce the best racing performance machine possible? What would interest you in buying a Triumph motocross bike again with a 250F coming out for 2024 and a 450 motocross model following in 25, along with a full enduro and off-road range with it? If you have those thoughts, throw them in the comments section below. Give us a like, thumbs up, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.